Welcome back, guys. We're going to run through my upper session for this 2026 prep. A few exercises to run through. We've got 9 in total. I have clips of them. We'll talk about what I do. I'll run through my execution and what I'm sort of targeting in these movements, things that I did wrong as well. And yeah, we'll take it from there. Let's rip in. And this is my 35-degree Smith press. I like the 35-degree because, well, one, it's nice for my shoulders and it's not overly high. I find a 45 to be a bit too much for me anyway. But ripping in. Goal here is to keep my ass on the bench, get that bar to touch my chest and be super aggressive. This was my top set, I believe. Yes, because there's 87.5 on the bar. I count the bar as 20 to make it easier. And that's our set there. That was a good solid set. This here, now that I actually turned the camera the other way, is my bent over row. This is more erector focused, so you're gonna watch me sling this thing around and be quite aggressive with it. I choose to keep this fairly reserved when it comes to RIR, so reps in reserve. I like to keep at least 2, maybe 3 in the tank, depending on what my elbow path looks like. So very quick set these ones are. Up next, our first superset being a chest press. So this is the Nautilus Nitro, a very, very lovely chest press. Again, the goal here that I focus on is nice wide hands, getting those elbows as far back as I can. My butt is all the way against the back of the pad, and the key there is that I'm not sliding forward and turning it more into a decline press. Rep range here as well is 10 to 15, so I do my best to really take this set to the cleaners where I can. This is probably the last one here. Yeah. Having to do these short little steps to get the rep all the way up. That's how I know I'm done. This is supposed to be a single arm lat pull down. You could say on a bench support. And what you can notice here is that my shoulder's sort of coming back as my elbow goes down. Not ideally what I was looking for. If anything, probably could have stopped my range of motion a touch short on the way down. You see there, my chest starts to roll back. I'm rotating a little bit. 1 or 2 things needs to happen here. I'll more than likely take a low drop and really focus on keeping my shoulder forward while I drive my elbow down. So I'm pretty certain, yeah, that's one side. Change sides now once I'm done looking angry. And I'm pretty sure you can see me do the same thing on the other side here. So set myself up, boom. Yeah, I'm even leaning into this one a bit as well. So yeah, don't do that. Typically, stay upright, arm out in front here, driving this arm as far down as we can without rotating into it. That's what we're going for. Here I've got to keep my ego in check. Because with the bench, you can load a substantially bit more than if I were half kneeling or in a different position. So yeah, we'll run that back this week. Moving on though to a new exercise that we have in here. This is a standing cable row raise. And I do this lying down on my push day, and it feels really good. So I decided to bring in a standing variation here. Now what you can't see, which I'll explain, is as I'm standing, I'm squeezing my quads, my glutes, and my core. Of course, extending a little bit through my chest at the top, but the big key thing here is that I don't use any leg drive. My legs stay nice and straight. I can lean back into it slightly. I get the little black parts of the cable to touch at the very bottom. My hands stay in front of me the entire time, and I do my best to get my arms as high as I can. So this is probably second last rep there, maybe third last, we'll find out. Maybe one more. Oh no, I go again. Never mind. But, nope, never mind. I always do those as well. I call them double taps. So if I think I've got one more, I'll go for it. If I don't have it, I'm done. That's okay. This is superset. I superset that with a tricep push down. So I find that delts and triceps don't really get involved with each other too much. And I like doing agonist, antagonist paired sets for things because it means I get through my session quicker rather than taking 2 hours. It takes me about a little over 90 minutes. So I could save a bit of time here, but get as much work as I need to done. And I really love this setup for a tricep push down with a band. Helps stabilize me, keeps me on the ground, especially because this is like a 6 to 10 rep set or 6 to 12. I go quite heavy here because on my push day, when I do tricep push downs again, they're more like 15 to 20. So I like having the variation in rep ranges there. I believe there's benefit, but who knows. Our next superset, lat pull downs with a wide overhand grip. Looking more to target the upper back here, trying to push my elbows out. Medium to wide. Okay, get a lot of mid to low trap Terry's grips in there as well. And again, relatively loose with form. As long as I'm fairly upright, not leaning crazy back, I'm quite happy. And I'll always take this to, essentially, I can't get it below my eyes, which is there. So yeah, that's to go there with my lat pull down sets. After that, we move on to this is a bonus one for me, is a cable chest press. So I like this split stance position, doing a cable chest press, because my shoulders are probably the most unstable part of my body. And I want to do something which challenges stability. So I've chosen a cable chest press because it's, well, quite tough. It means I get to go through a reaching and a pulling pattern as the cable pulls me back into that lengthened position. You see I rotate my hands as well as I come through, just to make sure I got nice movement through my shoulders through a reaching and pulling pattern. And this is typically 10 to 20 reps as well. So really trying to take everything to the cleaners after our Smith press and our chest press. And last but not least, we have some bicep curls. This is a nice way to finish. I like the Bayesian curl at the moment. Again, I don't lean heaps back to get a massive stretch. I do my best to make this more lengthened bias. And the key thing that I focus on here is making sure that my elbows don't come forward. So even if my hands don't come super high, the key thing that I'm looking at here is making sure my elbows don't come forward. And this is again about 10 to 15 reps. But with this, I'll superset this with some ab work, nothing too crazy. And that wraps up our first upper session. So all in all, ticks all the boxes, a good way to start the week. And tomorrow we get to do legs, which I'll share with you guys in a couple of weeks. Until then though, take care. And any questions on this, I'd love to hear them. Chat soon, team. We'll talk soon.